Hello and welcome back for Game 2 of the championship match. Cloud9 have indeed subbed in the Swole Bros. Svenskeren and Goldenglue will be rejoining the roster. They have also chosen to stay on the red side. Cloud9 did 2-0 TSM with this lineup. This might be their saving grace against Team Liquid as well.
And the red side really does tip their hand that they want to look for counter picks. They want to look to dominate some lanes here. And you have to think the plan of attack may be what it was in the regular season when these guys played against TL. That was go at Pobelter early and often, look for the mid lane counter picks.
Very well could be the case, and maybe that is why they've elected to go on to red side, even with so many teams finding success with the first pick opportunities on blue.
You saw some pep talk coming through, specifically from Reaper towards Sneaky there, kind of had him in the eyesight, now over towards Goldenglue. And of course, it's Cloud9, who's just a little bit backed up against the wall here. They did lose that first game. It was very close, but you've got to go 3-1 with this roster now. You've got to win thrice and only lose once if you want to take this series home and get the automatic trip to Worlds, win a title for Cloud9 for the first time in over 4 years. And that man on your screen, who has had such a rough time in the North American LCS, so many times it felt like he got on stage and choked. But against TSM, he won 2 straight, and now it's time to maybe do the same against Team Liquid to get ourselves in a Champions Select for Game 2.
Yeah, Goldenglue, he has played for upwards of 5 years, and every time he has been put back on the bench or traded to another team, but he persevered. He put in the hard work. He grinded solo queue. He even went to Korea to grind solo queue there. And all his hard work has paid off this year on Cloud9.
And it's such an incredibly important match. The most important of his career by far. And you have to think, already down 1 game, if you drop a second, it's so hard to come back against a team with this much experience, and it makes it a really, really important one to win.
Well, already Team Liquid with 2 bans here targeted at Svenskeren. We saw him utilize the Graves very effectively last weekend, and that one's going to join the Kindred on the list of jungle bans.
And it's Team Liquid dropping their Zillion ban from Game 1 to do so. Otherwise, this draft is the exact same as in Game 1, down to that Kai'Sa first pick.
And I see no reason for Team Liquid to switch their strategies. Kai'Sa, extremely good in the late game. Doublelift is an expert on this champion. We saw it last time, dodging out on a couple of the ganks, using his ultimate well. He's able to DPS so well, even with the short range, which does hinder some marksman players.
Definitely does, and you can see some extra consideration being given to that gangplank here for C9. It did not really dominate here against the Sion in Game 1, and they also now have to worry, is it just going to be the Morgana again? More focus on those range supports to try to get the 2v2 advantage here for TL.
And plus you can see Cloud9, they're on the red side. They chose that intentionally. They're not showing either solo laner yet. They want to utilize their counter picks very well. What you can do on the red side here is last pick a solo laner. Then in the second ban phase, ban 2 of the counter picks for it so that there aren't more options for Team Liquid to go in, and they just go back to Twitch and Braum. Once again, that was such a good setup for them. They were able to go invisible and get the first blood on Doublelift with the jump through and Zeyzal landing his stun.
I do think it's interesting that Cloud9 do not have a highly prized jungler in this match. It was actually take these same 3 champions, as does Team Liquid on the first phase of picks right here.
Well, C9 did actually first pick their GP last
game right,
around with that blind pick, so there is some swap. And while I do agree you can try to look for perhaps a counter pick on that Sion, the Sion I think is such a ridiculously solid, consistent laner. There's not really a lot of picks that can dominate here. There are some that can kind of scale off of him and look for those later game stages, but are you willing to risk it all on something like a Fiora who could take over in that 1v1? I'm not sure that they are.
And now that they've shown a Malzahar, that's not, you know, a surprise counter pick to anything as well. And you don't really need to throw too many bans there. So we'll see what the secret plan here from Reaper actually is. Following it up is just the Syndra here, as well as an Olleh, taking this one away from Xmithie, which allowed him to have a lot of early presence in the last game.
And it's good to remember, the subs don't have to be about, this counter pick that we talked about. It can just be about something that Reaper, Svenskeren, and Goldenglue saw that they feel that they can attack from the first game that TL has shown us.
It's such a big advantage, and we've seen a lot of teams across the world use a substitute, especially in the jungle position,
SKT,
to identify,
RNG.
Identify some strategies in what they've seen on the field from the enemy jungler and try and adjust to that. Xmithie dominated last game. Complete vision control, constantly going for the invades. and it might just be along those lines.
And there was a pivot for Cloud9 here. Of course, they dropped the Azir ban, added Olleh to the list. And there's the hover on Lee Sin.
That is a throwback to their normal season game where Svenskeren and Goldenglue camped Pobelter with Lee Sin, diving him behind the turrets to get some of those kills.
Svenskeren's best career champion. He has been dominant on it for so many years. Most of his best games, I think, really have come on this Lee Sin, and it's such an exciting pick.
Even at Worlds, he performed extremely well on this champion. And now here in the North American Finals, he wants to do it again. And they definitely are making some early changes in the jungle. Here, though, for Team Liquid, they actually have a very good jungle mid combination. Irelia and Sejuani has been used over and over again. Irelia stacks up the stun for Sejuani so quickly that you can always threaten these all-ins. The crowd control available to this duo is insane.
And so much now comes down to this last pick, and if it is the Ornn, I kind of question going to the red side here. You could have perhaps gotten these picks, or maybe even another power pick on the blue side, as they didn't really go for any lane counter picks. They blind picked their mid laner, their last picking a tank. I'm not saying this can't work, but was the red side the right choice?
Well, the Ornn is something that has gotten Cloud9 to where they are now, a big part, of their rise in the North American LCS and Summer Split. Long-range ultimate from Licorice. They've shown him roaming towards the mid lane to try and set up ganks, for whichever mid laner they have in at the time, or being able to start out those big team fights and create room for Sneaky on the Twitch to free fire.
I'd also say it's even more focused on Doublelift this time around here for TL. While Irelia certainly can have success in the team fights in the late game, it's difficult for her to have a lot of effect in the 5v5, so it's going to be about the Kai'Sa. And for C9, you have to think this Lee Sin needs to have an effect in the early game to match what the Sejuani is going to be able to do later on.
Yeah, because Team Liquid make it all about Doublelift. He is their MVP player. He is the all-star. That is going to be what Cloud9 will be targeting, so he has to watch out.
All right, well, Team Liquid keeping 3 of the same 5 champions. Xmithie not allowed the Olaf this time around. That's Cloud9 subbing 2 different players on this one, even to reprise some of those roles that Malzahar is still in the mid lane. Licorice off of damage duty, back onto a tank to play team fight. Team Liquid's front line was far better in game 1, and it set up Doublelift for a lot of success. And a pivot for Cloud9 puts an Ornn in front of Sneaky's Twitch to try to do the same here in game 2. Hoping to tie up the series as Cloud9. Let's get ourselves into game 2.
So for this early game, we're really going to have to watch this Vision battle between Xmithie, between Svenskeren, and the rest of the squad. Xmithie certainly came out on top in that first game, and TL was actually able to get both of the scuttles in those early moments. And I think C9 is going to have to do one better this time around if they want to be able to keep pace.
And it's definitely worth mentioning that the reason Team Liquid got both scuttles is in large part due to the bottom lane.
Well, same matchup as the previous, so that might just happen again here. We'll see if adaptations come in. Lee Sin, of course, can do some very good early dueling and has plenty of attack speed to stack up if needed, but Olleh once again getting the better of the Q battle in the bottom lane.
Olleh starting it off in a very similar fashion.
Yeah.
Getting gold off of Zeyzal here. Wants to get some more, does indeed find his mark.
Heavy outplay there, gets the trinket ward down, not spotted by C9, and Zeyzal will not do too much, actually sitting in this river.
All right, I want to see what the options here for Svenskeren on this Lee Sin are. This champion is one of the most loved champions in all of League of Legends because of the playmaking ability that you have on Lee Sin. He's going to have to watch where he places his trinket wards and see if he wants to use those to pull off an early move around mid lane.
All right, well, Xmithie going to knock down this red buff without much issue, pulls it down, lets it burn, and then it's going to take one more auto after this as he goes down towards Trugs for a pretty heavy clear. Bot lane pushed pretty early by Cloud9's side as Svenskeren is on the same path that we had Blabber on the previous game.
I think that's a really good call out. We'll have to see, though, what the adaptations are going to be, if he's going to look top early or try to attack that mid lane. I certainly expect him to at least try to challenge for the scuttles, unlike we saw Blabber in the first game.
Interesting here, you can see Sneaky, again, he runs this overheal, so he gets a shield on life stealing a little bit extra. Svenskeren, though, already out onto the field looking for impact.
Impact is not yet level 2. Gets it right here. Licorice going to go for the knockup if he maybe has it. Puts the little pillar down. Finds spot of Execute. Is going to land electrocute. Plenty of damage and impact. Down to 100 HP as Svenskeren walks away.
Really nice early gank here from Sven. It doesn't take him too much time. He's going to go right back over to the Scuttle, and that is a lot of early pressure there onto Impact.
Oh, big damage to the Pobelter. Ignite is on! He's got the solo kill! Goldenglue going to burn down!
Pobelter, 200 IQ play on the big stage, is able to take down one half of the Swole Bros and get some revenge for the regular split kill.
It's gotta feel so good. Their whole strategy in that regular season was attacking Pobelter, putting him behind. But this time he knows that Lee Sin is on the top side from that early gank, and he looks for it, nails the stun, resets the Q. The Blade Surges and Ignite are more than enough.
They made Pobelter go 0-8 in week 8 of the North American LCS, but here he makes them start out with first blood for Pobelter to Team Liquid in game 2.
Huge solo kill on a player that had been maligned by nerves so much. This is Goldenglue's first time on a stage this big, and well, a solo kill might just shake you, but we'll see what happens as time moves on here. So waiting around as we watch the rest of these matchups. Bot lane still pretty close to equal. Top lane this time around, Licorice not getting bullied nearly as hard. Some of that, of course, due to Svenskeren.
Let's talk about some of the ramifications of that kill as well. Pobelter did not use his flash in killing Goldenglue there, who did have to use his flash trying to get away. So that does open up this mid lane. Sejuani, Irelia, like we talked about, her Q can stack up, the Sejuani passive even quicker, you can get the stuns, and as soon as those crowd control abilities start coming through, you have to be very careful.
And especially because that gives Pobelter also the experience advantage. Even in a 1v1, you can get an easy solo kill at 6 if you can knock that passive off to set it up.
Yeah, Malzahar is a team-based champion. As we keep siding and Cloud9 keep picking it, for their team play and roaming around with Predator to find picks. Xmithie, though, having a hard time finding the ward this time around.
0-3 against the control ward there. That is
I hate to see
rare
that.
form. Xmithie loses fights that hard.
It's all according to plan on the way back.
Wow. Just the sickest outplay I have seen this summer split, counting that mid lane 1v1. That ward, insane.
It's too evasive. It's just too tanky. Can't take it down.
That is the tankiest ward I've ever seen. On the top side, though, we have the real tanks going at it, and this was a big issue in the last game. Impact on the Sion. He got so incredibly healthy, stacking up his grass constantly. But this time around, Licorice, with the help of Svenskeren, in the early gank, is having a much, better time here, and he's on a tank of his own. So once they get to the team fight phase, he'll have a similar role.
Being shoved in, first recall come through for Sneaky, picks up his own boots to dodge some Dark Bindings, plus his Vamp Scepter. Svenskeren not able to spot that ward. Walks towards Pobelter, level 5 on that. And of course, he knows better, actually. Svenskeren walk right by him.
Yeah, and that barely missing may actually cause him to waste a little bit of time because he doesn't know that Pobelter knows. So if he can bait it out a little bit, you see Xmithie's on the bottom side. They may want the 2v2.
They're going to find that first end. Here comes the re-engage. Xmithie flashes forward, finds a bit more of a slow. Do they have the damage to pick up the kill? Yes, Goldenglue falls. And now Svenskeren's got to run away. Gets stunned. Dove under the turret. Do they have the damage? Not quite yet. As Pobelter walks away from that turret aggro.
You have to respect that 2v2. Sejuani and Irelia, they combine with the stuns to take down Goldenglue once again. And this is a 0-2 start for the subs.
Yeah, it's very rough, and it means Svenskeren also having his early game on this Lee Sin neutralized. He's not ahead of the Sejuani at all, and he's down with Flash, so he's going to have less playmaking when he hits 6.
Early game going incredibly well for Team Liquid, even with losing the Olleh. This is really nice for them. Some farm pretty well for Sion on the bot side, but let's watch that mid fight again.
All right, so again, remember that they saw Svenskeren on the ward, so Team Liquid are planning this counter-attack, and then Cloud9, once the trap has been set right here, they just have to try and react and get out. Only Sven is able to do so.
Good damage towards Olleh, gonna flash around now, burn plus the poison, it might be enough, and it is! Zeyzal gets one on the board for Cloud9.
Back-to-back games, 2v2 kills here for C9's bot lane, making a play when they needed it most.
And they really need to count on Sneaky in the bottom lane. They're veteran with this squad to carry them through this early game. They are now in the championship set here. It is on this stage. You cannot tilt off of some bad early game plays.
And the details of that kill are crucial. This time, Olleh is missing Flash and Morgana, doesn't have it for a trade kill next level.
Yeah, and here it is one more time. Olleh does have the Black Shield, so feeling pretty confident that he's going to be able to live when he blocks that stun, but the Ignite, the Poison, the Expunge all coming through.
This is, again, we saw the same combination here from Cloud9. Sneaky goes invisible with Twitch, allows Zeyzal a jump opportunity. Zeyzal was waiting for that binding, immediately jumped out of the way onto Sneaky, and allowed them to pick up the kill.
TL is collapsing to this mid lane, though. C9 is around, but they could get caught off.
Ward down, both on his Zeyzal, disarmed Licorice as well. The burst coming across. Can they knock down Braum? A couple more shots will kill him. And that's Doublelift now getting his first kill of the game.
And Team Liquid Vision is once again the king here as they see them walk over and set this play up, allowing the call for Doublelift and Olleh to roam from the bottom lane.
Those plays around mid lane, it's been so much about the Vision. As you said, that Vision play, not catching the ward by mid lane, setting up the 2v2. Then again, the response here from TL, so quick to set up these plays when they know that C9 is looking for them.
Really nice stuff here. Now, Olleh, of course, flashes, can't get the engagement. Watch that mid lane fight once again. Xmithie sneaks by the Vision.
Yep, Xmithie, he's in the bush here. He does see them move up. So immediately up the river, you see the pings spamming from Team Liquid. Olleh and Doublelift had pushed their lane, makes it easy for them to collapse on the Cloud9 members. The flash is used, and Doublelift comes up with the gold after that one.
Nicely played. So 1,100 gold lead for Team Liquid. The defending NALCS champions going for the back-to-back. Doublelift could tie the all-time NALCS championship record of 5 titles with a best-of-5 win here today, and looks like they are on pace for this.
They're doing very well, but we have to know now it's Svenskeren at 6, it's Goldenglue at 7 with Predator boots ready. There's a lot of playmaking potential from this duo. You want to see them get out on the map, find picks, look for plays, because this is really a point of strength right now.
Yeah, you have to stay composed on this big stage with all these eyes watching you. Even with the lead that Team Liquid have been able to accrue, Cloud9 are looking for a play. Sneaky gets hit.
He plays really far up there. He can be burst down. Double brings him down to 300 HP. Oh, comes across. They can shut this one out, and they get the kill picked up. Sven with execute under the turret, gets one kill in the bot lane.
You could tell Doublelift was debating whether to commit fully to that kill onto Sneaky. He goes in for one last auto, and Cloud9 collapse. They get the kill, and they're starting to turn it around in bot.
And it didn't even cost Svenskeren his ultimate here, so he still has that available. His flash will be up soon, and another critical kill here around the bottom lane for C9, but unfortunately for them, neither of the kills going to Sneaky, who is really the guy they want to get fed.
Olleh walks up to stop recalls, does so pretty easily. Oh, comes across. He gets stunned up in melee range. Pops his ult, pops the stopwatch. Sneaky disengages. Zeyzal will be stunned. Ignite is on, though. Here comes the re-engage as Svenskeren comes down, and the team from behind. Goldenglue gets one. Looks for number 2. Xmithie does not yet have flash. He's got no way out. They're going to find the second kill in the bot lane.
What a turnaround here for Cloud9 as Olleh stepped up to try and contest Sneaky's recall.
We talked about the playmaking, and that TP from Goldenglue was critical to get himself back in the game. Pobelter is pushing mid, way ahead in farm and pressuring this turret, but C9 strike back on the bot side.
Yep, we're right back to even gold. Pobelter now leaves the mid lane, heading up into the jungle to look for some vision.
And Olleh again getting a little bit too confident. It is the 2v2 originally, but Svenskeren is around. Goldenglue has the TP and so confident to take this fight.
Yeah, he walks up really deep. Didn't have any vision because Sneaky had gone invisible. Zeyzal was just in fog of war. But immediately, look at the reaction from Cloud9. So good from Svenskeren and Goldenglue. They teleport in. Svenskeren's there through the lane, jumps through on Lee Sin. And Doublelift, he tried to get the snipe here and almost got a kill on the outside, looking for the low health Lee Sin, but wasn't able to get it as Svenskeren safeguard away.
Yeah, once again, going towards that AP Kai'Sa. This time around with an Irelia on the team makes a bit more sense for Doublelift here. And all the same, it worked great previously, so really can't complain here. As you mentioned, gold back to equal. This time, no Drakes picked up. Farm really close kind of across the board. The mid lane, the big disadvantage for Cloud9. We'll see if Goldenglue can keep up later on. That TP was absolutely great. Got him a kill and an assist.
And that's what he's going to have to keep looking for, because he's not going to be able to find much in this 1v1 besides maybe some wave clear. He has kind of purchased pretty heavily towards that laning phase with Double Dark Seal and the Corrupting Potion to try to be able to hold on and survive in this 1v1. But Pobelter already having the QSS and working towards that Triforce is going to reign supreme if they ever battle it out.
Battling control wards down there. Xmithie's actually in that bottom side. Cloud9 cannot push up towards that part of the map where they would be killed by a jungler. Looking at Pobelter once again, finding a stun, but not going for a dive under the turret. He does have QSS, but still a bit too risky for him. Svenskeren is nearby as well.
Nice little display there. You know, quick moves from Pobelter. Use a W to get off the Malzahar shield, then land his stun instantly afterwards. Zeyzal, meanwhile, now trying to do that work of the vision game through the river, which Xmithie has really been controlling. They also have a deeper ward in the Cloud9 area here to see them try and trade this blue off. Let's see what Xmithie wants to do about it.
Playing up right now, who will not be stealing that blue buff.
He might collapse onto Golden as he head back to lane, though.
Gets the shield off. W's going to land. Stun's going to be out for the first one. He has the ulti available if he needs it. The flash backwards over the wall he goes. And there's the chase. Suppressing, though. Do they have the damage of flash in from Pobelter? They will get at least one trade. And now for the re-jump as the knockup comes through for Sion. A shutdown for Irelia. The rest of the team diving forward. A team fight win for Team Liquid so far. It's 3-1. And they walk away safely.
And this time around, they can get the reward of the dragon that is available. Team Liquid's bottom lane here, Doublelift and Olleh move up to secure the extra kills. It's a full team commitment on that play.
And it's vision, 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 the name of the game here for Team Liquid. They spot them on the blue buff. Xmithie sets up the trap and they are able to get so much from it. The vision control from TL really has been the difference maker in this second game.
Xmithie with the deep ward goes around all of Cloud9's vision too. That river ward did not see him get into the brush. He waits for Goldenglue to get halfway back to lane, jumps on the opportunity here, and even though the blast cone hits, Xmithie got his ult off first with the Sejuani to land the stun upon arrival, allowing the commitment here from the Irelia to finish off Sven, and Impact teleporting in with a huge stun.
Yeah, that stun, the binding had already hit on Sneaky, locking him into that smash, and Doublelift flies in. As soon as the Twitch went down, that was going to be the end of the fight, and TL certainly coming out on top there. Doublelift the benefit of another kill.
Well, 1,000 gold lead and the Ocean Drake. Team Liquid in the lead heading towards this midpoint of game 2. A little bit of counter jungling available, but a long way to go for Cloud9 to get themselves back into this one. No turrets yet to fall. Rift Herald still alive as well. That bot lane turret still very healthy, and no major play being made yet for a turret kill.
Once again, on the top of your screen, we didn't see much of the top laners except for the teleports, but Impact is again farming minions behind the turret against Licorice, trying to get a little bit of extra couple seconds. Once you clear that minion wave out early behind the turret, the whole point is that you have more time to then go roam, play some vision. Now he's clearing out a ward. You're doing more work for your team, and every little bit of time that that top laner gets to go into the enemy jungle really does help out in setting up these plays.
And it's so frustrating to deal with because you have to then tank up those minions,
Oh,
but
Olleh is dangerously low. Ult's going to be popped. Can they have the damage up, but no stun to be had? In the front line, Sion going to zone the team out. No attacks coming out of Sneaky, and Svenskeren is already down for one. The re-engage comes across. Pobelter finds the second. Sneaky is down, looking for the trade as Malefic Visions and everything else, but Pobelter walking away. Oh, he's hanging alive, and he just won't burn down. It's a 3-0 to Team Liquid.
So well played by the low health members of Team Liquid. First, Olleh dodges into the Raptor pit with the Morgana, stays around, lands the binding. Team Liquid not done though. They're gonna get a turret after all those kills. And the Rift Herald's been started up by Xmithie.
they're taking everything here, getting the kills, getting the turret. They'll grab the Rift Herald as well. They have the waves pushing, and TL are in full control here in game 2.
This team full of veterans, full of past champions, showing here in the finals on this stage that they are not to be trifled with.
And what a difference maker Pobelter has been. The early solo kill and in these fights so big. C9 starts this off trying to get an early pick on Olleh, but they're not able to complete it. And then Pobelter over the wall hits the ultimate on multiple members. It goes in.
Yep, then the binding over from the Raptor Pit from Olleh. Doublelift uses his ult to get in. All of the members are here. And even though Pobelter gets hit with everything on Irelia, he cues over to Zeyzal to dodge the Malzahar silence, and then is able to walk out the Triumph healing him back up.
Yeah, and in these messy fights, the Defiant Dance, reducing so much damage, and those blades are just healing you up every single time, can really make you tough to burn down.
Actually dealt the most damage in the team fight in a 5-on-5 on Irelia, with crowd control being thrown everywhere, including a Mal's ult onto him. Great stuff out of Team Liquid's mid laner.
And Pobelter now is at such a ridiculously strong point, has the full QSS, has the Merc Treads and the Triforce completed, and TL is collapsing on the bottom side.
Fights on different sides. Licorice flashing away, and now looking to the bot side of 4v4. Big Nugget gonna find onto Sneaky. They could re-engage. The Kaisa comes in. They'll knock down. They'll try to exterminate the Twitch, and they do so. Olleh grabs that kill. Now for the chase down. They get the second as Svenskeren falls as well. Wins across the board for Team Liquid.
Now it's just Team Liquid taking over game 2, and they have a huge amount of momentum in this series. They still have Pobelter split pushing on top side right now, and getting once again an early invade and a possible tower dive.
They might find another. The binding just barely sidestepping the mini wave out of the turret. Goldenglue will be safe to clear this, but you can see TL completely smashing this game.
Yeah, that Rift Herald was dropped top, so they got even more damage done up there. They get multiple kills on the bottom side, and Doublelift has 4 of them. This Kaisa is going to have his second item so much before Sneaky on this Twitch, despite the fact that they're comparable in farm.
Here we go, as more of the jungle's being taken away. Team Liquid just completely taking this map away from Cloud9, looking very close to a 2-0 lead and 1 away from back-to-back championships.
And again, as Team Liquid leave the map, they leave behind so many wards. Both sides of the Cloud9 jungle are fully lit up for them to see any sort of counterattack, that they try and mount. So it makes it much easier for Team Liquid to finish out these games.
And it's split push time for Pobelter. He's down to the bottom side of the map. Drake in 40 seconds, Baron in 1 minute. And a 4,500 gold lead to work with here as bot lane's being pushed in. Licorice a bit slow to defend this, but Xmithie right behind Pobe. There's a bad fight. Team Liquid can turn this one around easily.
And if you're C9, it's time to try to fight back for that vision. Stabilize this game, because you do still have that ridiculous late game threat with the Ornn engage and this Twitch ultimate.
3v1 and Licorice's days are numbered. Blue Smite slows him down, charges forward, ult's gonna land. Does not have a flash, might ult for it. As if Pobelter's gonna find himself part of that stun. Still chasing in towards a 1,000 out Licorice. Binding's gonna be easy. There's the kill picked up in a rampage for the TL mid laner.
4-0-5 on Pobelter on this Irelia across the map, creating so much pressure for this team. And that kill also earns them another turret. Cloud9 are losing ground so quickly.
And even with 3 members down there on the bottom side, C9 are in such a precarious spot. They don't feel confident to even trade a tower in the mid lane. They back off, knowing the impact of Doublelift could show up and the roams could come in, but instead it's another dragon, another neutral going the way of TL, another turret on their side, and this lead is getting huge.
Again, Cloud9 have to keep their composure on this big stage. It is going very, very poorly right now, but this is the test. This is when you have to stand up and continue to make big plays.
Well, we'll see if they can find their way into this one. Most of their attempts have been stifled, and Team Liquid have won back-to-back-to-back team fights. A quick check towards Baron Asher. That one is safe. Olleh puts the wards down and might reset for more very soon. As Team Liquid able to shove out the mid lane. Doublelift, it's 202 CS right now. Knocks down a few wards. Cloud9 have to rush back a lot of control right now. Their team fight difference just does not seem quite as high. Sejuani's an amazing frontline take out of the jungle. It's actually Sion who falls off. Doublelift, 2 items already on this Kaisa is a massive, massive threat.
Definitely is, but there's always the playmaking. If Svenskeren can kick Doublelift in and they can burst him down, there's potential to turn that game around on a dime.
Maybe.
Sven,
big threats.
Sven might have to channel an old Cloud9 jungler in Meteos and look for that big play coming from the Raptor pit to try and jump behind and turn it around for his team. Because if he doesn't find a surprise play, then how do you get past the Sejuani and the black shield of Olleh denying that crowd control? He has to take them by surprise in order to pull it off.
And that's why they may be looking for door number 2, which is wait for late, wait for that Twitch to get going and really get to a lot of items. But C9 wasn't able to survive long enough last game to really get to that win condition. TL was so good at pushing the pace, at controlling vision, at taking neutral objective after neutral objective, and they're looking to do the same here.
Cloud9 trying to stay composed, farm for late, defend their territory. If they can avoid giving up more for the next 5 minutes, then they will be able to try and set up an opportunity. But right now, Team Liquid, they're doing such a good job at pushing it forward. Pobelter moves the minion wave up. They're getting top turret at the same time as mid lane turret here. Doublelift taking that one down to 50%.
And you really get the feeling that this lead might just be too much. 7,000 gold this early on should mean that any reasonable 5v5 fight goes heavily in the favor of Team Liquid, and it may have to be a steal around Baron. It may have to be some sort of miracle play for Cloud9 to get back in this.
Well, mid lane's going to be falling for this one. You have to assume it's 5v1 over here, and yeah, they're simply too far back. Cloud9 will let another turret fall. It is 5-1 in turrets and 12-5 in kills. The gold lead about 8,000 at the 23-minute mark. Team Liquid completely smashing this game so far, and with Baron up, you imagine that's likely next for them on the chopping block.
Yep, they're going to have to clear out a couple of these wards first, but they have plenty of damage to threaten Baron over and over. Sejuani and Sion are both strong tanks that can deal with most of the damage that it is going to put out. Doublelift going to help Xmithie take away that blue, and they just barely get out.
He flashes early, goes for the play, slows, but Xmithie has Q, he can get over the wall, and he does so. Out he goes, a flash burn. That is a small victory for Cloud9, but might not mean much in the next team fight.
It is an expensive blue buff to take, but like you're saying, Cloud9, they're going to need a lot more than that.
So far giving respect and deference to Doublelift and Olleh to clear out the mid lane. Doublelift does have to wait for the
Twitch poison, one of the most annoying things in the game as it stops your recall. Still on you. Actually, Doublelift now canceling his own recall to look for this play on the red buff. They want to take it for himself.
This is going to be the attempt. Vine comes forward. He's going to pick it up. It's going to be a sneaky, but now here comes the front line. Ult comes across. A stopwatch on top of the black shield. Is this the opening? As they open up for the stun onto Xmithie. This is good damage, or he can make it happen. Here comes the knock with the back line. The nether grasp on as well, but Doublelift refuses to go down. He's going to look for the back line, and Goldenglue falls. It's 3-1 so far. Pobelter surviving. Still running away. Can't finally knock that one down, but it's Sneaky left alone. He's dropped as well. Zeyzal will fall. It's going to be the ace if he can burn down. Just walks out of this one, but Liquid wins the fight again.
And because Doublelift is still up, they might actually be able to go over to Baron. Kai'Sa does so much damage with the Rage Blade that they're going to go for it.
And they have the Warbox, the double ocean. They will be able to heal up. This is a TL Baron, and they are going to be up nearly 10,000 gold.
Nothing gonna stop this. TL pick up the Baron at 25 minutes. And sneezes rune commentary. But Team Liquid picked that one up. They are massively ahead at 25 minutes.
All right, let's take another look at how it all started out. Team Liquid wanted to get this red here for Doublelift. Xmithie goes in, and he does use a stopwatch early so that he doesn't get hit by the Braum ultimate, but then they chunk him down with Sneaky firing away, and Svenskeren commits, trading 1-for-1.
And then watch the stun over the wall onto Sneaky. Pobelter flashes in, creating so much time and space there, pressuring Sneaky, and they're just barely not able to take him down as it looked like the redemption came through from Olleh.
Then a big Q from Impact Sion knocks them all up as Cloud9 were chasing them, and Xmithie's dad in the audience.
He knows what that fight means. Baron and a massive gold lead from TL is getting them close to match point.
It's all but over. A miracle now required for Cloud9 to turn this game around. A fully upgraded Mercurial Scimitar in for Doublelift as well. The QSS on the other big damage threat of Pobelter's Irelia has been there for a while. No good targets for Goldenglue's Malzahar. And the damage up over Sneaky nowhere near what Doublelift put out. A nice knock up there. Can they knock down the Irelia? The Ornn comes across, and he is going to go down to 1-0. They're looking for the re-engage the 5v4, and Cloud9 walking backwards, afraid of what the Kai'Sa can do. Doublelift in the front line, staying safe. Now with the kick, they found him in the back line, but Doublelift knocks down one. He'll be traded though. This could be the fight. Impact is going to be burnt down, but watch out. start for the zombie. He can find a trade kill, get Zeyzal, and get knocked to the minion wave as well.
You said they needed a miracle, and that kick might have been it. Buying time for C9.
Cloud9 do get some kills, and they can put a stop to the Team Liquid push. But after that, they can't get much else. What an opening, though. They find the first kill onto Pobelter, and then Svenskeren goes for it.
He won.
Sneaky!
The W is there. Sneaky's flashless, and he does not have the damage, and it ends up being a 3-for-3 long term.
Xmithie and Olleh say you can't just forget about the support and jungler. They go in and they put a stop to the Cloud9 celebration.
Doublelift games and dying while taking jungle minions. Name a more iconic duo. This time, though, it's his team getting the better of it. Watch that fight again.
And this on our Acer Predator replay. They find the pick on Pobelter. This time, he is not tanky enough to survive.
Svenskeren uses the stopwatch to immune the counter engage. Then he turns it around. Q onto impact. Uses that to then Warthog flash over to Doublelift and get the marksman into the team. Very big play, but then, again, the sign is such a big deal. Impact takes a long time to take down, and even if you take him down, he gets back up. Zombie gets the counter kill.
It's certainly not changing where the game is at, but it's buying time. It's stopping TL from ending the game with that Baron, and that may buy them another 5-6 minutes before the next Baron is up, where they can hope to find picks like that, where they can hope to get enough items on Sneaky that he can perhaps take over a fight.
The next power spikes are coming through. Keep in mind, Doublelift not far from Zhonya's, which is going to make those kickbacks mean less and less over time. But it also means that Infinity Edge is now done for Sneaky, so maybe he can cut through the front line. We'll have to see as the tanks line up. Doublelift in the front. Sneaky opens up, goes for damage. There is no flash to get out. The ult comes across, but he does not have the damage to kill up Doublelift. He's able to kite away.
You can see their late game respect for the damage output of Cloud9. Team Liquid, they reset though, and the redemption from Olleh heals them back up to continue and push.
And they have the double ocean, so if you don't get a kill, that poke means nothing, and now they know Sneaky without the ultimate, TL can posture aggressively here and look to knock down more turrets to get one step closer to that inhibitor.
No spray and pray, not going to be helpful for Cloud9's efforts. The bot lane being pushed in, a couple minions as Impact tanks up the turret, and they will get turret number 6. 19-10 in kills. Ready to keep pushing forward as the Infernal Drake will spawn in about 5 minutes, and Liquid still have absolute control here, 10,000 gold up.
Uh-oh, this is dangerous for the Cloud9 squad to even go into their own side of the jungle. Because Team Liquid have so much control, this is no longer Cloud9 territory. Team Liquid taking over.
Q onto Pobelter, opens up, but watch out for what could be an engage on Svenskeren. Gonna Q forward, does not quite get stunned, but will be knocked up. Here's the engage, and Svenskeren's gonna go down. Olleh on a killing spree. Sneaky down to Pobelter as well, and there's no damage left. They've picked off one under the turret. This will be a very hard 3v4 to win as Liquid escort the wave into the top lane. They'll be knocking down this turret with no issues at all.
And this should be the inhibitor here for TL. They got that critical kill onto Sneaky. Pobelter again finding him in the back line has been monstrous for TL.
Inhibitor gonna go down, and Team Liquid aren't done yet finding lands.
They're gonna try to push it in 4v3. They can almost knock down Xmithie, but he's gonna stay alive. Doublelift on the hunt, wants to find one. Xmithie falls 3v3, but they're gonna knock down Licorice. 3 versus 2 now with turrets to defend, and it will be enough to keep Cloud9 alive.
Cloud9, their base is now in shambles. They can try and reset and look for another opportunity, but it's become so difficult, and Team Liquid have not presented them with a big opportunity. This one was Team Liquid running through the C9 jungle to take down Svenskeren. Even with one of the most mobile champions in the game, cannot get away from everything they have to offer. Then Pobelter on this Irelia, find Sneaky in the back line once again.
Pobelter has just been taking over this game, taking down Sneaky by himself there, and buying so much time for Doublelift to have the freedom in the back line. Picking up 9 kills on this Kai'Sa. Late game is secured with that pick.
Irelia was such a big pick for Pobelter in Spring Split, even at Rift Rivals and Summer as well, even after all the nerfs. He has really been making it look good and making it work for the team.
He's absolutely been great. This has been a huge breakout series for Pobelter. He's already been very successful before, but it's often been him, the one overlooked. This time around, I think he has equal share, putting out a lot of dominance here. 6-3 and 10, and a sack in the backline, as you've been talking about.
And he has been showing up in these big moments. He was the player of the series in the Spring Split Championship when they won in Miami, and He is putting up an incredible performance here again with the QSS, the Sterix, and now the GA. He's so hard to take down, and even if you get him once, you got to get him twice.
Well, this gold graph does tell the story of the game. It has been Team Liquid favored the entire time. They're looking for a possible skirmish in mid lane, but Licorice is the most tanky member of the team.
Flying on the Zeyzal could be enough to start the fight out. They're going to look forward. Ult comes across from the Irelia, and here's the big side. The first one's down onto the back line. A huge knockup, and Svenskeren's gone. 3 kills already. This is going to be the ace. There is no way out for Cloud9. A stopwatch buys 3 seconds. Licorice flashes, still being chased. He will certainly drop, and the ace guarantees the base is in shambles. Down the mid lane they go. They've got a top lane wave coming soon. Nothing's going to stop Team Liquid from crushing the entirety of C9's base.
Team Liquid with the full team kill here. They will be alone with the Cloud9 Nexus, and that is going to be all for game 2.
11 kills on Doublelift, 8 on Pobelter. The Nexus is theirs, and Liquid are 1 game away from back-to-back championships.
They brought in the Swole Bros to pick on Pobelter, but it was Pobelter who takes over the game. The solo kill, the difference maker in so many fights, finding pick after pick onto Sneaky. Monstrous performance on the Irelia, and TL find the way to clean out that game. Once again, a beautiful fight.
The road for Cloud9 so difficult this summer. Going from 10th place to here in the finals, and now facing elimination with 1 more chance.
People have talked about it so much with this series, the immense amount of experience on the side of Team Liquid. They are now 1 game away from closing this out. It's the rookies, it's the new players on C9 that have to dig deep and find some way to look for a reverse sweep, or it's going to be over.
We'll see if they can do it. Cloud9 reverse sweeps has been a match made in history before, but they've got to do it on this stage. We'll see if it can happen very soon. But for more on how Team Liquid brought this series to match point, let's send it back to the State Farm analyst desk.
Is that us, guys?
Yeah, that would be us.
Oh.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I want to welcome Tyler One to the desk.
Hey.
He's got to help us break down this best of 5. I was honored to be involved in the TCS, and I'm equally as honored to have you.
Again, buddy. It's been a while.
I know. We have a rapport that we've established. I've grown a few inches.
Yeah, me too.
I just hit my growth spurt recently. It's fabulous to have you here. I want to get your take, because from the immediacy, we saw the sub come in for C9, bringing in the Swole Bros, but not Swole enough. You being a Swole Bro yourself, what's the assessment here on the swapping situation coming in from C9?
I think Goldenglue's a really hard worker, actually. I think I play a lot of solo queue. I think he tries sometimes really hard in solo queue. Sven, I like to call him the Academy Superstar. I'll see you in Academy next year.
All right. Okay,
Svenskeren,
making his bid now for an Academy spot. All of you teams looking for, yeah.
But, I think they're really good. I like how they can swap in and out. I like that.
All right, well, let's take a look at what they came out with in champs like them, because, again, we talked about the Lee Sin Syndra being the duo that they picked up in order to pick on Pobelter the first time around. The Lee Sin comes through, but Malzahar, much like game 1.
Yeah, and I think that right here, C9 is spending too much time trying to prevent Pobelter from neutralizing the 2v2, and instead neutralizing themselves in the 2v2 by trying to pick away Malzahar. Irelia is the strongest 2v2 mid we see in pro commonly, and now there's 2 games in a row that Pobelter and Xmithie have actually had 2v2 pressure against both of the C9 duos.
And I think that's fine to talk about in draft, but in game, you can't be getting solo killed, 2.5, 3 minutes into the game on Goldenglue's side, and that's a bigger problem, I think, than just the draft, is if you're not going to be able to execute on what you're actually picking.
Yeah, I mean, evidence yesterday at the show, man.
I mean, you guys can have your own opinion, but I mean, I'm a bot lane kind of guy. I
Yeah.
feel like C9 needs to pick to win the lane hard. Carry through sneaky. Let's see what happens.
I mean, a couple
this.
Twitch, a couple
Hey, I
thoughts.
want to see like a pike pick from Zeyzal. He's a good player.
A pike pick coming from Zeyzal, that would definitely change the landscape of the game. It's interesting, they have prioritized this Twitch in the first rotation both times for Cloud9, and Sneaky has piloted it fairly well within a number of team fights, but there is something to be said for the fact that the losing lanes doesn't necessarily give them agency to turn things on sooner.
Yeah, I know you were saying you're surprised when you heard about the solo kills down the bot lane that Sneaky was able to pick
they actually
up.
killed Doublelift. I mean, Sneaky, like I said, Doublelift, he's a good guy. He's a decent AD carry. I think Sneaky can match.
All right.
All I can say.
Strong support for the C9 AD carry. I do want to roll through some highlights, kind of get a recap of how this game went, because as was mentioned, it went hard in favor of Team Liquid early on here in the mid lane.
Yeah, this is honestly when it turned at level 2, because you shouldn't be losing this 2v2. You can let that wave push in. Irelia should have lane fire
Irelia's not
unless your
balanced.
jungler is there.
Irelia's not balanced.
That too. We were having a discussion earlier about whether level 6 Irelia solo kills should no longer be impressive because you see it almost every game. But here's where they got the quote 2v2 kill. But both of them have actually
Look at that.
been catching
No
up.
double lift. He's lost. If they abuse Olleh without double lift,
I mean, for a second here, it looked like they were getting back in the game because Goldenglue, I think, was 0-2 prior to this. He comes in with a nice TP, and it feels like C9 starting to turn things around a little bit, but it was just constant teamfight skirmishes after that, and Sneaky goes from something that's like 0-0-2 to 0-3-2 off the back of these teamfights that keep breaking out more around the mid and jungle.
Yeah, Svenskeren was working his butt off on this Lee Sin all game long, doing what he could to pick up kills and create plays where they were available to him. But a number of missed skill shots and missed execution within some of these team fights really spelled disaster for
Twitch
T9.
sucks.
Twitch, you want Twitch out
Yeah,
completely.
Twitch sucks, dude.
I have to believe that they're going to look for something entirely different here in Game 3, being down 2-0 in the series. You just got to get a complete makeover. In
Well,
Team
it can't be entirely different when the enemy team has side selection.
If you've lost 2 games with Twitch, please don't pick him a 3rd time.
I'm hoping Reaper's hearing this.
You can say the same thing about Braum. You can say the same thing about the Kaiser.
I don't want to see
Sion,
Braum either.
because
Don't
that's
give
what
double
fearless
lift
has.
Kaisa. Don't give double lift Kai. Who's he gonna play? Varus?
Yes.
Hey, good joke.
I love it. I love it. All right, here we go as we close in on the end of the game. Take a look at Doublelift moving forward through the fight. Gets that black shield. Nice, easy pickups to clean up the game.
I mean, you talk about the Kaisa problem. I mean, Sion for impact looks disgusting.
Yeah.
His drifting through both jungles to land onto Sneaky, who had no flash there, was incredible. And he's been doing a great job neutralizing Licorice, who a lot of people had 3rd place for the MVP ballot.
Yeah, and real quick, Doublelift's 11 kills in this game. That's the 2nd most kills anyone's had in an NALCS Finals game.
Oof.
Most is 12 by Doublelift when they beat TSM back in 2015.
He's just okay, though, right, Tyler?
Right.
Yeah, well, I mean, which champ was he playing during that 12th game?
Jinx.
Jinx.
I guess he can play everything.
Decent champ. I guess he can. I guess he can. All right, well, then the question is, how does C9 decide to, attack this? TL will have no substitutions picking blue side. C9 is subbing in Jensen. So this is an interesting move.
I said they were gonna do that.
Only one of the duo being swapped out. So Svenskeren staying in, Jensen coming in alongside him. What are your thoughts on this immediately?
Well, Jensen isn't swole, so
He's not swole.
is Svenskeren going to gank his lane?
Can you mix swole and non-swole?
That's not how it works.
No.
Mark.
Yeah,
It's not how it
exactly.
works.
That's why the Tyler Free
We got
bot
the-
lane didn't work.
Yeah, hey, exactly. That's exactly why it didn't
Oh,
work.
it's all coming together now. It's all coming together now.
Realistically, though, I thought that this was going to be what happened because Goldenglue looked like he was underperforming. Blabber looked like he was underperforming in game 1.
Right.
It goes against their practice for sure because they've been linking the duos and everything. But they're down 2-0. It looks like they're going to get swept. You want to try everything. And they're going to put in the 2 most experienced people in a series where I think the lack of experience is hurting them.
Go ahead, Mark.
I was saying initially that even though we said 3-2, this was very much a series to me that felt like it was going to break very heavily around the mid lane. If they can actually shut down Pobelter, then they have a good chance of winning the series. But if that's not happening, I felt like TL was going to run away with it, and that's kind of what's happening.
Look, I respect your 2 expertise, but only one person on this desk has actually played on a stage like this, and that
Who
would
is
be
that?
this man
Oh, yeah.
right
Hey,
here.
that's me,
That would be
guys.
this
Settle
man
down.
right
Yeah,
here.
that's me.
And so I'm coming to you, Tyler, one. They need to put 3 games together, back to back to back. How do they do it? If you're the one pumping up this team, giving them the pep talk, what are you saying in comms as they load up on stage?
Cloud9, I said you were going to win to every single fan I met, all right? If you literally don't win, I'm going to look like a joke, all right? Hey, get it together. Sneaky, stop playing these baby 80 carries. Play to win lane. Stop picking Braum. You're better than that, Zeyzal. Come
Tyler
on.
One's credibility and reputation is at
Do it for
stake here.
Tyler!
Do it for Tyler.
Also ban Sion!
Also banned Sion. Tyler, I appreciate you being on the
Hey.
desk with us.
Hey,
It's
guys.
been an absolute pleasure.
Bring it in.
Maybe next time you wear that tux shirt you got going on, though. All right, we dress up here on the analyst desk.
Oh.
I like the
You don't call it a
sleeveless.
dress?
Sleeveless suit, maybe?
Wait a minute. Where'd I get this?
I don't know,
plug?
Tyler.
Where did you
Where
get
did you get it, Tyler?
Oh, let me tell you where I got this.
Boom. There it
Slow
is.
that down and you'll be able to understand.
All right, ladies and
Subtitles.
gentlemen, Team Liquid are 1 win away from the championship. Let's see if Cloud9 can keep the series alive in Game 3.
is a lot of early pressure there onto Impact.
Oh, big damage to the Pobelter. Ignite is on! He's got the solo kill!
I'm behind them. I'm behind them.
That's a little flash, right?
Yeah, he's dead. Bring his go.
Sentinel flash, yeah. Hit him. Auto him. Nice job, boys.
We can turn this. We can turn this. DG. Just get this. Hey, listen. Hey, I'm looking, bro. We need help. Use it. Okay. From the flash.
It's 3-1 so far. Balls are surviving. Still running away. Can't finally knock that one down. But it's Sneaky left alone. He's dropped as well.
I go. Kaiser.
Nice. First one's down. Onto the back line. A huge knockup. And Svenskeren's gone. 3 kills already. This is going to be the ace. There is no way out for Cloud9, and Liquid are 1 game away from back-to-back championships.
Welcome to Level Up, presented by State Farm. Skarner has made his way back into the meta, so I've brought my friend Clayton Captain Flowers Reigns to share a tip on the Crystal Vanguard.
Thanks, Riv. I wanted to share a method for improving your Skarner ultimates. At the end of Impale's suppression, twisting Skarner's model around gives you a heavy advantage in the fight to follow by putting Skarner in between the enemy and where they want to be. This means if they flash, the auto attack to trigger Fracture Stun is far easier to land, and if they don't, any subsequent fight gives you the upper hand because they need to walk through you to get to where they want to be. Begin fights with Skarner's Tailspin, and you'll be a solo queue menace in no time.
If meat and bread are the backbone of a sub, then Mike's Way is the heart and soul. Lettuce and tomatoes, onions and spices, all drizzled in the juice. That's the difference. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.